everybody, it's Mike Gesowitz, co-founder of Teaching.com, Typing.com, and Edutyping.com. I am here with another exciting episode of Ask Edutyping, where we field user questions from around the United States and the world for two of the largest typing programs on the planet, which is Typing.com and Edutyping.com. So each week, if we don't get to answer your questions live in our video, please know that you can reach us through hashtag AskEdutyping via Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and somebody will surely get back to you. Forward that question off to me. I'll answer it and make sure that we're addressing all of your questions. So each week, we start our show with a keyboarding/typing tip of the week, so that teachers can engage students not only with our keyboarding software, but also oftentimes a tip that will allow you to take a break from using the program and keep the students very engaged and having fun while also learning keyboarding. So this week's tip is called Bloopers Bulletin Board. And the Bloopers Bulletin Board idea, I used to use this in the classroom. My students absolutely loved it, and they get to contribute in it. First thing to know is that this is downloadable and available on our blog. That's this week's post, was the Bloopers Bulletin Board. You can get to our blog. There's a link on our homepage at Edutyping, and also through blog.edutyping.com. And the blog content is also available for all teachers when they log into the teacher portal. So please know that there's tons and tons of great content in there. This video is also recorded and posted each week as well on the blog. So here's how to implement the Bloopers Bulletin Board. Basically, we're all human. We make typos. And we also rely oftentimes on spell check. For example, the word there, T-H-E-R-E, and there, T-H-E-I-R, are basically, will be treated as spelled correctly by the spell checker. But we all know that based on the context of how you use those two words, they may not be correct. So what the Bloopers Bulletin Board does is it stresses to students to make sure that they employ proper proofreading skills on all the documents that they type. And here's how to set it up. So get a spot on a classroom wall or a corkboard and create this bulletin board, title it Typing Bloopers. And basically what you do is ask your students each week or each day, and you can award bonus points as an incentive for them to bring these in, is to have them clip out either magazine or newspaper headlines or the contents within that article in the magazine or newspaper. Could be a billboard that they took a picture of, and oftentimes you can find hundreds of examples of different bloopers of typos that were made in either newspapers, magazines, or on the internet. And as they bring them in, you can populate the bulletin board with more and more of these and use them as examples for your students to recognize the importance of proper proofreading skills. So again, that's the Bloopers Bulletin Board, again, available at our blog at blog.edutyping.com. Download it, take a look at how to set it up. It's pretty simple, very similar to what I just explained. So each week we field user questions, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm joined off camera right now by my colleague, Rennie Sullivan, who is going to read this week's first question. Rennie?
Thanks, Mike. Michael Smith from Typing.com asks, what is the fastest typing speed that anyone has achieved? How did this person achieve that typing speed?
Great question, Michael. I love this question because it really lets me reflect on some of the expertise that's out there, not only in the field of keyboarding, but also in technology and in all kinds of skills related to technology and in the office. First thing to realize is Mike asked how many words per minute is the fastest typer. First thing to recognize, and really important, is that the average American keyboards or types an average between 38 to 40 words per minute, which is pretty good. And I would definitely, say, hey, that's at least average. This particular typist, Barbara Blackburn, in 2005, achieved an amazing 212 words per minute, and she averaged 150 words per minute over a 1 hour time span, which is insane. So just think about cars. The average car maybe, travels at 65 to 70 miles per hour on a highway. Multiply that by about 6. So you'd be doing somewhere about 450 miles an hour, to kind of draw an analogy to how much faster Barbara Blackburn is than the average typist. It's pretty amazing. And the second part of your question was, how did she achieve that? My answer to that is, I have no idea. That is just unbelievable. Myself, I average about 70 to 80 words per minute, and I think that that's fantastic. And I've tried, and no matter how much I type and how much I practice, that's about the maximum. So within each of us, we all have a maximum of how fast we can run, how much weight we can lift, etc. Barbara Blackburn is an exception, just like professional athletes are an exception to the rules. So pretty amazing, though, that she's able to do 212 words per minute, an inspiration for all of us. So, Rennie, let's take our second question of the week.
Jennifer Freeland from Typing.com asks, can I set up an account as a teacher if I, as a parent, want to teach my kids typing and have access to their accounts?
Jennifer, who is a parent, that's a great question. And first of all, kudos to you for taking the initiative to want to teach your kids keyboarding. Not all schools have keyboarding as part of their regular curriculum. I obviously am one proponent that every school should teach keyboarding as a foundational skill for all things technology. However, to answer your question, as a parent, can you set up accounts for your kids? Yes, you can. You can do that by signing up for a free trial at Typing.com. And then you can also pay a very small fee and then activate your teacher account. So yes, you're not a teacher, you're a parent. However, it works exactly the same. So you would log in as a teacher, add your students, which are your children, as a class, and you'll be able to monitor their progress. Same exact thing goes for EduTyping as well. You can sign up for a free trial, then create a teacher account, and then create a class, and then make your children students in that class. But that's a great question, and kudos to you again for taking the initiative to really teach that foundational skill of typing to your children. And so we have time for one more question this week. So Rennie, if you would read our final question to Ask EduTyping.
Mikey Scott asks, I am a first-year instructional technology teacher. What do you recommend for inexpensive alternatives to keyboard skins?
Well, first of all, just to reiterate what Mikey said, what is there an alternative to keyboarding skins? I myself am not a fan of skins. What skins are, in case you're unfamiliar, keyboarding skins basically act as like a laminate, and they hide all of the keys on the keyboard. Oftentimes, one of the problems with that is it's great for teaching key memory, so students can memorize where keys are located on the keyboard. The problem with keyboarding skins is that it eliminates that very sensitive touch that each key on a keyboard offers to somebody who's not using skins. So it's a different feel. So when the skin is on or off, it's just a different kind of a muscle memory that the brain develops. It's kind of like riding. You get used to riding one type of bicycle, and then you drive somebody else's. It's just not quite the same, and you may not be as skilled at it, etc. Or a baseball glove that fits a certain way, and then when you borrow somebody else's that is broken in a different way, it doesn't feel the same way when you're catching a baseball. So I don't recommend skins. What I recommend is keyboarding covers. And keyboarding covers, a real cheap alternative is to take the top of, those types of cases that paper is shipped in. If you take the top off of that, it's only about yay so high, which is perfect. It's about 4 to 6 inches high. And trim off the back and the front, and it will serve as a great keyboard cover so that your students can slide their hands underneath that cover, and when they go to look down, obviously they won't see any of the keyboard. And then eventually, it's not something you need to employ the entire time during a curriculum. After your students have shown a general mastery of the locations of the keys, it's a good idea to remove those so there's just that natural workstation feel for them. So, but that's a great question, Mikey. And again, I don't recommend skins. I recommend keyboarding covers. So that's all we have time for. Again, if we were not able to field your questions this week, I'll be back again next week with another live show on Facebook. And you can also reach us through hashtag AskEduTyping on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Everybody happy typing, and we'll see you next week.